Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sprawl. Let's see what's going on helicopter-wise. So, Flamingo and Cathode.
Helicopter-wise.
Flamingo and Cathode, you're in the chopper. You currently have some time. You've bought yourself essentially invisibility time. The automated security drones on the ship, the missile system, believes that it has shot you down for violating their new extraterritorial airspace. What will you do with the time that you have bought?
Is there somewhere that we can like position ourselves to avoid like detection, like further scan? Like if we land, will we be considered part of the ship?
Maybe. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I don't think Flamingo knows enough about helicopters to really know the details of this.
Yeah.
But maybe you could take a second to assess the situation. What would Cathode and Flamingo be doing?
I feel like Cathode would be the one to assess the situation, but Flamingo would be the one to say like, maybe there's somewhere we can avoid the scan, like the overscan. Once we're out of this invisibility, whatever you've rigged for us, we still need to pick up the other two, and then I hand it over to you because you're the one who knows about like scanners and technology and stuff like that. Would be sort of my...
Right. So basically, Cathode's like, oh, yeah, right. Of course, we're still a giant helicopter floating in midair and people could see that. So I'll assess and see if there's a place where I can like set us down, like maybe behind a like protruding like building thing on the ship or like something like that.
Yeah, there's a name for those, the little like the little building on the ship, but I don't know enough about boats to know what it is.
Isn't it like the
castle? The forecastle or some shit? I don't know. There's like a name. I have no idea whether
anything I'm doing...
That's a thing. No, it's totally a thing on boats.
Is it really?
Yeah, no, that's totally a thing. I don't know if it's the right word, but it's a thing.
The forecastle refers to the upper deck of a sailing ship towards the foremast, the forward part of the ship with the sailor's living quarters.
Okay.
There you go.
Anyhow. I don't know if anything I'm doing is along the lines of what Neat told me to do. So I don't know if I get forward. I haven't been giving myself forward for the shooting and the...
I mean, our job was just to pick them up, basically.
Yeah, your job was to stay in the helicopter and provide support and an exit. You're doing that.
That's what you're doing. Totally.
Okay. And one forward.
Hey, there you go.
10.
What would you like to know?
I want to know how can I avoid trouble or hide here?
Okay, so your ship is your helicopter is loud as fuck, so you need to turn them engines off, which means you need to land it. You're gonna run into heat problems, right? They're gonna be able to see the engine heat, and they're gonna be able to hear the engine. That's the big one. So if you can shut the ship down fast enough, you can get it like land it somewhere and shut it down. That'd be your jam.
Well, what's my best way?
Unfortunately, Chet is correct about this. You would have only got a 9 because you failed the roll with your drone.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're no longer under my plan.
Fine,
but,
then I'll just ask that.
Okay.
That's
no,
fine.
but I'm going to help you. So you can get a 10.
Okay. So how do you help?
I come over the comms. I'm like, actually, I don't go over the comms. I do a private line to Kathy.
Okay.
So it's probably kind of like a bit weird for you, but like I open up the channel there. Do you respond?
I guess like I probably like look over at my AR and see like
you see
there's
Neat's,
another call
Neat's
coming
personal
in,
sigil, yeah,
and like click on it and be like, and I look over at Flamingo and like obviously you didn't want Flamingo or QQ to hear. Like I'm just like, yeah.
Look, I'm sorry, I was a bit brash earlier. I get it. Sometimes there are things that are a bit more important than blowing shit up or getting cred. I get it. So we're gonna fix this. I'm sorry about what happened to B. It was B, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're gonna fix this. as soon as the mission's over, and we are going to pay these Krug assholes back tenfold. All right? As long as you stay calm right now.
I'm calm. I'm
Good.
fine.
All right,
She's lying.
let's get back to it. That's fine.
Yeah, but the fictional state remains that even if you don't necessarily like think that Cathode would be inspired by the words, there's just something about the way.
No. It's. I'm not saying that the help doesn't work. I'm just saying that she's lying.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just making it clear that this is like whatever. It doesn't matter what Dave says. Neat is exceptionally good at this. So whatever he says is the thing that somewhere in you, you're like, okay, yeah, like you're bolstered by it.
Okay. So you
There you go.
roll
You got your 2 extra
whatever-
questions.
You don't have
He
to
doesn't
roll?
have to roll. No.
Oh,
No.
okay. It's just a 10 plus on help,
Yep,
right?
I just help everybody now.
He's a good helper.
I think I want to know like what's my best way in the vein of like what's my best, like you said the best way is to shut down and set down and hide. Like what's my best way into that place where I can shut down and set down and hide?
Well, you're invisible. They don't know you exist. So
Yep.
you could just go and put the ship down on the deck.
Anywhere on the deck? There's not like
I mean, there are still drones
a
out there. You
better
can't-
way?
You can't really avoid them because they're just out there looking for things visually. So yeah, there's space on the deck to land the helicopter, and if you can land it and shut it down, you might be able to get free of it before.
So my best way in
find
is
you.
quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Before the window closes, before they see past before the sound gets them to like take another look.
All right, and I guess like I'm gonna save the last of my assess and do the like I'm gonna like be like, all right, Neat has motivated me and Flamingos, both of them have tried to help me shake me out of my stupor or whatever. So I just like when the call ends with Neat, I just immediately like as directly as possible, and it's this like Kathy's, I don't know, like she looks more grown up for a second. Like her face is still like, I mean, obviously like she's not her usual like, hey, like happy self, but like she's very determined. You're filled with determination.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes directly towards like a clear but like kind of guard, like it's got stuff around, so it's not just a helicopter like sitting in the middle of an open empty deck, but it's large enough that she can land like quickly and expediently, and so she goes and sets down there, and yeah, I think that, I mean, I feel like I want to ask the same question twice, but like it doesn't.
You're not going to get a new answer.
It's not going to get a different answer. What potential complication do I need to be wary of?
The crab
Now
drone.
that we've set down the crab drone. Okay.
Well, I mean, the crab drone's like coming to find you, right? Like they're patrolling the deck of the ship. They're still looking for QQ and Neat to like see where they're at, because the two of them kind of drop down into the ship. So they're around. If you put the helicopter down on the deck of the ship, the missile systems won't find you and shoot you down with missiles, but someone
drones
might
might.
see you. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like Kathy has in her head like, okay, are there any of those crab drones like invisibility?
There you could find them if you want. Like you're coming in towards the ship. You haven't landed yet, but yeah, I mean you could go.
I haven't.
You go looking for one.
I was under the impression that we
No, this is your momentary assess. Like, I'm gonna do this. Do you want to try to land on the deck
yes,
of the ship? All right,
yes, I wanted to have tried to land on
Okay,
the
are
deck
you
of the
trying to
ship and
avoid-
then ask the last question.
You're trying to avoid the drones that are on the deck. Like,
I
stay
don't
out of
want to
sight
land.
from them.
Yeah, I don't want to land like on top of one. No.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you act under pressure?
Okay.
Yeah, the pressure is that you'll attract the attention of the crab, some of the crab drones that are on the ship. Okay.
And
There
you
you
get you get a +1 as well. So you rolled a 12
I don't.
No, you do from assessing.
from the assess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you cut through the cold night air down, basically just dropping towards the ship, and I think even like cut the engines before you land. And the helicopter like lands on the deck of the ship, and we see the engines go dark. They're still glowing with the heat, but yeah, you've managed to avoid the drones. They're still patrolling. They'll find the helicopter eventually, but they haven't found you yet.
Again, there's this sort of like friendly, like good job pat on the shoulder with the robot arm of Kathy's own install.
Yeah, I think like Kathy like turns to Flamingo, and she has the whole like there's still drones on the ship, but we could, if you want to, I mean, we could try, and I'm good with drones. I could access one of them and use it to protect us from the other ones.
You think you can access the network as a whole? Maybe
We'd
to
no,
connect?
we'd have to get like up to one. Probably.
Okay, so we just need a single one. What kind of armament? What kind of armament is Puppy Cat?
Puppy Cat. I don't know if they have any armor.
I mean,
on
guns, weapons.
A 3-harm near.
It's
Okay.
like a cannon, right? Like an autocannon or a machine
Yeah,
gun or
like
something.
like a machine gun or
All
something?
that said was that it was 3-harm near. I don't know if it like maybe I'm supposed to choose a specific separate gun, but I don't know where they're listed.
They're not. You just make stuff up.
Okay.
But cool. Okay. So
The only tags that it has is 3-harm near.
So my thought here, Kathy, is we wait on the ship, and if anything gets close, we defend with the guns we have and the gun Puppy Cat
the
has.
guns on the ship aren't working, and
I know, but I still have this, like auto pistol.
Yeah, you're like, there are guns on the ship.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We just have to wait until the other two are done. We have no other recourse. Getting a crab drone would be amazing, but we'd have to get close to it, which is like alerting them to our presence to begin with.
I mean, is it though?
Do you know something I don't?
I mean, could we like try and like sneak up on one? It's not necessarily like
Oh
it
yeah.
will be alerted no matter
and,
like
and as soon as you're like, we can just sneak up on one, I'm like, can you sneak?
I mean, can't we all try though? Like it's like mechanically, like we could try.
Yes, you could try doing anything.
It's
Oh,
not
sure,
like there's
yeah.
it's not like
No,
there's
no,
a stealth skill that we don't have.
From an outside perspective, yes, we could try. But this is Flamingo being like, Kathy can be like quiet and sneaky, like, it's just the character, like.
Oh, right. And Kathy looks like well, yeah, right? I could totally do that.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
A crab drone is an investment, and we can sell that shit so good.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. It could also protect us from being attacked by other crab drones.
So
but
the two of you
could
want
sell it
to
later.
Are you gonna just like go out on the deck and look for one? Are you gonna try to lure it to you?
I feel like
what?
I feel like
take a minute. You two think about what you want to do here.
Willow says-
okay.
Go ahead and IM each other for a minute. I'm gonna pop over to Team
Okay.
Murder Squad down below decks. So neat. We haven't seen what you're up to for a while. So you were surrounded by like South American prisoners or refugees or something. They seem to have been de-cybered. And yeah, they're just like surrounding you, kind of like pulling at your clothes and like talking to you in Spanish.
All right. I put my hands up. I'm like, all right. I'm just trying to get everybody to sit down. I kind of put on my like leadership voice, which is just kind of like a calm down, stop moving, don't touch me. I'm going to help. Just let me through.
What language are you saying this in?
English.
Yeah.
I don't speak any other language, but it's tone of voice more than anything.
You don't speak any Japanese at all?
Oh no, I speak like I speak language. I speak Japanese picked up through watching Japanese media.
Oh,
I've never
you
learned
speak
Japanese.
anime, which is like a
Yes.
subset of Japanese.
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, definitely.
He says he can speak Japanese, but
Yeah, I could totally
He
see.
says he can speak
No, but-
Japanese. Ah!
I could totally see anime being a sublingual like faction of like English and Japanese mixed together, and it's a combination of like actual common Japanese words, but mostly just saying things like they're in katakana.
yeah, probably.
Okay, all right. Yeah, they kind of like look at each other, like sort of understanding some of the things you say, but I think they pick up your like body language, like I'm gonna help, but they're still like kind of like crowding you nervously, like they want you to help now, like help me out.
Yeah, like I don't have anything that I can do to help them, so I try and like again just like keep it, and I just try and move through back towards the door. I'm not going to hurt anybody.
Okay, so you want to just try to like push through and get out of the room?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Why don't you roll just act under pressure to see how long they keep you stuck here if you're trying to be gentle and like move through the room.
Yeah, as soon as actually clicking the button works. There we go.
Oh dear. Okay.
Real bad.
So I think you can get out of the room, but you lose something. Like someone uses this opportunity to pickpocket you, and maybe you don't realize now, but you'll go for a piece of equipment or something you need, and it's not gonna be something obvious that you notice right away. Like no one takes your sword or whatever, but like something disappears, and if we don't figure out what it is by the end of the mission, remind me, and we'll pick a thing that someone takes from-
I have an unspent gear, so
yeah, maybe
I guess
it's
I
that.
have a
Yeah.
non-spent. Well, no gear anymore.
Yeah. Somebody gets sticky fingers as you.
No, not the detonation charges.
And it's gone. So
The non-detonation.
so you make your way through the crowd eventually, kind of being like placating people, like calm down, it's okay, I'll come back for you or whatever. And then you get away. QQ, you're in this little like comms center, and the two dead comms officers are lying on the desk next to you. You've got the display, most of it's in Cyrillic, and there is there's a comms line open between the Chernobog and like some other like offshore, like probably a command ship or something offshore. And the command ship has issued a comms lockdown that looks like it's going through like the subsystems being turned off. So like comms jamming is on the list somewhere near the bottom. Like activate jamming protocols. They have a thing they do when they're in emergency mode where they basically just declare extraterritoriality, diplomatically make that happen, and then shut down all of the communications off the ship. So that whatever secrets don't get away, and that you can see these things like power systems
It's
changing,
like working its way through.
yeah,
them all.
flicking through these automatically. The ship's built-in protocols are going into crew lockdown, essentially.
Okay, well, yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, I gotta be quick here. And so I start like blooping through the interface. And essentially QQ is looking for the two options. One is where the engine is, or where something I can blow up is that would sink the boat.
Mhm.
And then the other is where the actual meeting is, which I am trying to map based on where the meeting is. I'm just going to be looking for like, where is the security detail at right now? And wherever they are most concentrated, I'm going to assume that that's, close to the meeting or whatever. And then I'm going to go there and kill them all and
Okay.
then disrupt the meeting is the idea. Or I'm going to blow up the whole ship.
All right. I think you're doing research. The database is the information available in front of you, these various screens and what you have.
Cool.
So yeah, go ahead and roll your.
Yeah, and I get a +1 from my previous assess, right?
Yeah, for even being here.
Okay, is this still within the plan? I haven't
don't-
failed any rolls yet.
Yeah, you haven't failed any rolls, but like you're the action person, not the research person.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
I
Something
get
fine.
an 8.
All right. So what was, sorry, this is the one where you have to ask the question before you roll, but what was the question that you wanted to ask? Where's the meeting?
I guess the most important one. I guess we'll go with like where the meeting is, where the security detail is.
Take intel. So you get a thing of intel from this.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's a relatively near the docking port below the ship, the sub docking port, which does indeed still have a submarine attached to it. A little like 8-person sub, little drone controlled sub. Yeah, relatively near to that, there is there's like a meeting room, and you can see it on the display. There's a handful of nervous-looking like corporate folks. There is a Krug like security officer like doing some very placating like hand signs, right? He's like, "Don't worry, everyone, we are on it." Like you can't hear it, you don't get audio feed, but we get this kind of grainy video feed. And they're looking at each other. There's some like coffee like cups on the table. There's like a plate with some Danish on it, and there's this little meeting room in the depths of the thing, and they seem to be trying to debate whether to leave the ship or not. And the security guy's like, "Don't worry, like we knew this was going to be a thing, but everybody stay calm. We're dealing with it." And I think that's when you see that, and you can in your mind chart a path from where you are to there, more or less. And when you see that, you hear there's like a kind of a squeal, and the whole like comm system is replaced with just the Krug logo and just the word offline in Cyrillic.
Fuck you in Cyrillic.
Upstairs, Kathy and Flamingo, you get like a squeal in your headset or your cybercoms, and your internal UIs bring up like jamming and like the static, like you're being told by the system like we can't make any connections. There is some kind of jamming field that's active.
All I have to say is like weird high-pitched shriek feedback in my brain.
Oh, I know, right? And it's not that bad because your brain is like programmed to deal with this stuff. But there is like a second where it's like, oh shit, we got to turn that on. You get like a little bit of like in the back of your head.
I have a question.
Yes.
So they both have encrypted comms, right?
Yes.
Or like protected comms.
So what that means is that it requires a move like be made to affect it. It doesn't mean they're unfuckable.
Yeah.
And I'm just asking, did you make your move?
Yes, that is the thing.
Did you eat your vegetables and did you make your move?
Yeah, the move is made.
Okay.
So I can't send this information to Neat. Then,
Correct.
I'm gathering. Yeah. Okay. Well then I'm just gonna go and he's gonna do whatever he's doing, but
Yeah, so everybody is cut off from one another all of a sudden.
Yeah, so I like hustle. I have like my AR set up to like show me the breadcrumbs, and then I'm just like booking through the ship.
Okay.
And ideally I want to approach from the side that the submarine is on, if that makes sense. So that I'm interposing myself between them and their escape route.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you head down that way. Neat, you are in the same hallways I described before. And there's no, I was gonna say there's no sign of QQ, but there's signs of QQ everywhere. You can smell like hot cordite on the air. And there's like, boot marks on doors, and yeah, it's pretty clear. QQ kind of went this way.
Hot Cordite is the newest song for the metal album.
Right, shark missile.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you gonna do, Neat?
Okay, so I still have 2 hold from my previous assess, which I used to get below decks in the first place. So I would know that this submarine is like 8 people, right? We did that. We found out that the submarine was going to be the way they got on and off, and we found out like about it because when B was still in the air, we did get the kind of like footage and stuff, and there's no way that's big enough for all of the people who are trapped in that room.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then the only thing big enough to transport all those people back to land is the boat itself. So, I had plenty of time when we were doing the prep and stuff, and also since we flew the drone over and like mapped out different areas to know where like the bridge of the ship is, right?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. It's the thing at the top of the, but they don't use it, right? Like it's because it's on the outside, you could see it. It just like has broken windows and it's probably all like water damaged inside. If the ship is not movable, as far as you know, so the bridge has been abandoned.
Oh, okay, right. I didn't realize it wasn't movable. I thought
No,
it just
yeah,
weren't.
it's functional, but not as a boat. It's functional as a Krug base.
It can
Go ahead.
float, but it's not got
Plus, it's
like power.
the Krug doesn't pay the whatever company does the dock or the port ice breaking to break the ice around it, so it's locked in a bunch of like really heavy ice. So even if it could work, you'd need to icebreaker it. But no, it's all fucked up. It's not a boat. It's a big rusty chunk.
You just cut a hole in the side of the boat above sea level and march this large group
That's what I was thinking, actually.
across the ice. Yeah, they'll mostly
That's what I
die,
was
but that's
thinking.
okay. You're still a hero.
Yeah, I mean, you could ostensibly make your way across the ice, like you've got the cover of the sleet storm and stuff. Maybe, yeah.
Man, I love walking across frozen.
Yeah, it's only mostly
in
insane.
a sleet storm. Yeah, that sounds great.
I'm sure none of those people have the appropriate outerwear.
No, they would have been, yeah, even if they did, it would have been taken from them specifically to avoid that kind of bullshit. Still, it's not the worst plan I've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm like bound to work on that directive. So I'm going to I think we still want the sub, actually. I think we need to secure a secondary escape route, and that's important to me tactically, even if we're not going to use it for this people. So I'm going to head down there and try and secure that area. I don't know. I mean, I know that QQ and I are going to the same place. That's not the reason that we're going to the same place. We haven't been able to communicate that to each other, but I think that makes sense as a very tactically minded person that he would try and do that.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna head down towards the two of you are taking different routes, but you're both heading more or less towards the space where the meeting and the submarine are.
Okay. I'm aware that QQ had to kind of use questions to find that. Would you like me to kind of spend hold to ask?
Yes. Yeah. Totally. That makes sense.
What is my best way into Submarine Bay?
Yeah. So calling back to that the visual that B got you, the scan. You've got a pretty good idea of, like, you've got a mini map in your mind of which direction to go, and on your AR, a little waypoint appears in teal, kind of giving you this direction.
Okay.
Video games.
Yeah. Okay, so up on deck, Cathode and Flamingo, you are.
We have a plan to
yeah, you're slipping
Yeah.
off. You're slipping off the chopper, which is quickly cooling on the deck. And I think I guess the idea here is just like you've snuck across the deck and you're in visual range of one of these searching.
Okay,
crab drones.
so-
Yeah, we wanted to see what one was closest.
Okay, so there's one nearby. You're behind a big rusted over stack of cargo containers. So there's this big like stack of them, and you can see it, and it's on the deck. It's moving its little crab legs, and it's covered in like rusty plates, and it's got a like a 5-barrel like machine gun for one arm at the end of one arm, and on the other arm it's got a
Please say buzzsaw.
no, it's got a like a manipulator clamp, and then under it there seems to be like a blue like pilot light. You can see a little flame like flickering underneath its arm.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just kind of like, the thing is at the end of its little crab legs there are wheels, so it's just kind of like half moving, half sliding around on the deck, like scanning. It's a big cluster of sensors.
Like the...
Yeah, it's sensors scanning the deck, looking for intruders, and it's just kind of moving between.
Okay, so I
these
think
rows.
if I'm correct, and
Uh-huh.
this is also Blue Jay, obviously, but I think the plan is I'm gonna make a noise and get it to come check it out. And then Kathy's gonna like hack its access panel from behind. That's the plan.
That was the plan, was to like, here's a noise, look at the noise. Oh, I'm behind you, and I'm gonna try and like open it up and like mech drone whatever real quick. And I'm assuming there's a lot of acting under pressure involved with all that. But
Yeah.
that's what we want to do.
So
100%.
Flamingo pops the flare, runs out in front of the T-Rex. waving.
yeah,
No, it's
exactly.
nothing like that. It's like I stay behind cover and I just like knock on the, on the
Yeah, we're trying to
the
be
side of
kind
the,
of smart.
the
She
metal.
crouches in the reeds and whistles at him to lure
Yeah.
the robot up.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, yeah, I mean the drones these drones minus the big container crate on the back, there are certainly variations of those. I've definitely they're like the ones in Horizon for sure, the like crab ones. So you just like bang on a container to try to get
We
its
just
attention?
we want to get
Yeah.
it into a position where like I am behind it and it is following like these noises that Flamingo is making,
Okay.
and I can just like get all up on that. Yeah.
All right, Flamingo, act under pressure to do the setup here. To
Okay.
buy the pressure is that you or Cathode get noticed, right? So you like bang on the thing to try to get its attention.
I can help.
You're explicitly not able to help because if you
I
help,
can't
you're
help.
caught up in the thing, and that's the problem.
Never mind, it's cool. Just you do your thing real good and we might still be okay. It's possible.
Okay.
All right, so
And here's the part of the mission where Flamingo puts herself in harm's way and loses a limb.
So
That's
Flamingo, you like bang on the thing, expecting it to like turn and like come over and check it out. And I don't think you even hear the whine of the guns powering up because it's too like the wind.
Oh, motherfucker!
So there's just this like sudden like repeated banging sound, like someone's hitting a hammer on the other side of the crate as fast as they can, and then bullets go like out. It just turns and shoots at the direction it heard the noise. It's not even going to investigate. It
It's
just goes,
like ding ding.
just fires. Yeah, and so you see these like high caliber bullets just rip through the metal beside you, and then
Oh, fuck.
you, I guess. So you're
yeah.
gonna take some harm.
Yeah, it just does like a
Great,
sweep
great.
with the gun.
Yeah,
so she's
exactly.
like-
It's just like, hey, a noise, brap. And let me take a look at this drone.
Time to make the harm move. My
Yeah.
favorite move that always
Favorite-
goes well for
favoriteest
me.
move.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
god, this
Yeah.
is like a drone machine gun
Is
arm.
this a
This is
large
like-
drone?
It's
so
the
much
like bear-sized drone or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
Amount of
fuck.
gun dealing up to 5 harm.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
not 5.
no.
This isn't.
Well,
It
'cause
doesn't shoot.
it has two separate weapons though, so like
It's not shooting
each of-
missiles. This is an anti-personnel machine gun.
3?
Yeah, machine guns are 3 harm.
Okay.
Typically.
It's not an assault rifle. It's bigger than that.
Okay, so
Um,
The
4?
machine guns, like the machine guns on the helicopter, are 3 harm.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's about that. Yeah, anti-personnel machine gun. 3 harm. It's not AP or anything. It's just straight up 3 harm.
Okay.
it's fine.
The fucking shit I do for you. Alright. I take 3 harm.
Okay.
And then I roll the harm move.
Make that harm move.
it. Do you have a minus from your clothing?
Yeah, I do. Is there? Oh, yeah, there's a roll harm button. Cool. Harm suffered 3. Yeah, I succeed the harm move. 'cause I'm
Oh,
so good at
right.
succeeding at harm.
So what'd you get on the harm move?
like 8.
You got an 8? Okay.
Wait, you didn't minus 1 though. From your clothing.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
7.
Still a 7.
So, yeah,
It's 7.
Same still in the
Same
same
jam.
band.
It doesn't
Oh.
matter.
Okay. You lose your footing, lose your grip on whatever you're holding, lose track of someone or something you're attending to, or someone gets the drop on you. Okay. All right. So describe narratively what happens. You get shot. The bullets go like they pop out hissing in the air, and then you get tagged as they rip through. You get wounded. Where do you go? Do you like drop to the deck? Do you like
Yeah,
run?
I just fucking the appropriate response to getting shot with machine gun fire is to drop like as low as possible.
How
and
would you
don't
know
die.
that?
So okay, so you I think you fall to your knees on the deck to make a smaller target, and also because it hurts really bad. Your vision
Yeah.
goes white. You can feel they're making you bleed your blood all over your hands. And we just see your hands hit the deck, or your hand, I guess, and then your metal hand next to it, and blood kind of like trailing down your arms, and your vision kind of blurs. and you feel the ship kind of like moving around you. Meanwhile,
Fucking hack the drone.
Kathy,
I feel like
you
because
see,
we don't have comms, and I would have been trying to get like behind it.
you definitely see your opening.
So like I would have been like, oh, she's probably done that intentionally. I don't know, like unless you like screamed out, I would go for it. Yeah, I would hope that was your like you did that on purpose. And,
Yeah, I mean, do your thing.
Okay, so what am I doing?
You're trying to sneak up to it. Is
Yeah.
that the plan? Describe what your character is doing. I'll tell you if there's a move.
I mean, I think that Kathy would have been getting herself in position to like get behind it, like hoping it moved forward. Obviously, it's distracted though, so she was like crouching behind like this cargo container, like looking at it. And when she sees that it's like aiming at something and distracted and like shooting, like she would go up to where she would know, being familiar with drones, the controls should be, and like, attempt to like wrench it open and quickly like drone stuff, neural link something.
Yeah,
drone
there would be a
things.
panel probably underneath it, where a technician
Kathy's very little.
would roll in underneath on a roller or whatever, and you could plug in a neural connection and then potentially gain access.
Adam,
to
is it like that shape on the underside of crabs where it's kind of like a spade shape?
Yeah,
It's like a panel that opens under.
exactly. Yeah, totally. So getting under there and activating it. And while it's, I mean, we'll deal with that when you get there. Okay, so yeah, I mean, really, like you have to run over and get underneath it.
Yep.
So yeah, it turns, and it doesn't like turn and aim and fire. It just turns and like fires a bunch of shots through the wall, and then you run for it. I guess you can act under pressure to get inside its range before it can spot you.
Okay. I don't.
Oh dear Jesus!
This is the part where everybody dies
It's
and
fine.
the helicopter is found and we lose.
So you take off running. Your little sneakers on the deck, sleet and rain pouring around you, and I think that its top part just spins around, fires, and then turns to you, and the barrels are still spinning, and then you hear a sudden like whoosh of sound, and everything goes like white and hot.
I get the
and
fire
yeah,
part.
you run right into the burst from the flamethrower.
Perfect.
So this
happy.
fireball just bursts out of its hand, and you like run into it and like throw your arms up as it like rolls over you. So you're gonna take some harm as well.
How much harm does a flamethrower?
I have no idea. Let's see if there's a flamethrower
How dead are we?
in here.
It's fine.
Is this the part where Puppy Cat like pounces on the thing and tears its arm?
No, because if I use Puppy Cat, I'm going against my directive. So of course Puppy Cat is safe on the helicopter.
You would rather get 1 XP and
Yes.
die than not die?
Obviously, that's how this game works.
It's so salty, Blue
You are
Jay.
really salty. It's true.
If only you were lime juice, and then you would be delicious.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
So, I think, I mean, a flamethrower, let me look at I've got all the gear tags in here. I think a flamethrower is probably dangerous, messy. I don't think it's AP because it doesn't like go through. Like your
No.
armor would help.
Armor would definitely help.
But you're
yeah.
like on fire.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and you'll have to deal with that. You have to just deal with being on fire.
You just deal with being on fire in the sleet. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that sleet would.
I mean, you're
Wet.
covered in like napalm. It's not just like
right.
you're on fire. It sprays you and then lights the shit on fire. But I think harm wise, like 2 would probably do it.
Okay.
It's probably like a repurposed defrosting like fire.
So I have the dermal plating, and it just says when you make the harm move. It doesn't have any rules for what type of harm. So
So it's just this, yeah.
Yeah, it helps against flamethrowers as well.
Unfortunately, you rolled
I
great.
get an 8.
So you take the harm minus whatever any harm thing, and then you get an 8 on the harm move.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean you lose your footing. You fall on the deck. and are on fire. You're like your armor and your skin and stuff are smoldering.
This is pleasant.
Parts of you are still burning. Yeah, you just like fall on the deck and roll, and the thing, yeah, like turns completely around and starts like rolling towards you.
Awesome.
And yeah, and I think you can see it and hear it like coming towards you, and it's like reaching over to like pick you up, grab you with its claw. It's got this like the little claw like spins so that it's in line with like your body and like starts reaching towards you. It's like kind of rolling towards you.
But what does the dermal plating do again?
Dermal plating is it when you make the harm move, subtract 2 from your roll, subtract 3 from your roll if the harm came from a weapon with flechette, but I also have armored clothing, and that is another subtract 1,
Yeah,
so it's subtract 3 altogether. -1.
Nice.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. I was trying to look it up. I couldn't find it. That seems real useful.
Yeah. So I feel like stop, drop, and roll is a thing that Kathy would have in her head, so that she would probably attempt to stop, drop, and roll, having already dropped. But the rolling would probably like help to evade a grabby drone, right? I don't think that she would be focusing on looking at the drone. She'd be focusing on being on fire.
You kind of got 2 choices here. You can try to like put the fire out, or you can like try to escape the drone. Like
She's
it's just coming over to
put
try
the
to pick
fire
you up.
out.
Okay.
She's on fire. That's the focus.
Okay.
For her.
So yeah, you're lying on the deck and you're like trying to pat out the fire, and then the drone reaches out and grabs you. Gets its like little clamper hand. It's got 3 articulated fingers, and one goes over either of your shoulders, and the other one goes like underneath you, and kind of like it just grabs you and like picks you up. And I think if we cut over to Flamingo, you stagger around the corner and you can see the drone with the lights of the city, the kind of gray skylights of the city. Yeah, just pick Kathy up and like hold her out, and just kind of like hanging, smoking from the drone's hand.
I guess I shoot and I run towards it and shoot. Like I need it to drop her, basically. Like
yeah, because it'll just like
arm
crush her.
mechanisms.
Yeah, or I guess it would just shoot her with the machine gun.
Could I like? I mean, if she's gonna try and like shoot it, I guess like I don't know if she needs help yet, but I would have been like shoot the specific part, and it'll like lose its ability to whatever open.
Yeah, well, let's have you roll first, and then you can decide if you're in a position to help. So Flamingo, you want to, I guess, in this case, the thing you want, the objective you're trying to seize is your friend. You want it to drop her, right? So you're mixing it up to seize control of Kathy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I fail. Feel bad.
Just like straight up. Just.
It's like a fucking.
Oh boy! Wow, it's a 2. Okay. All right.
It's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna acquire some agricultural property in this game.
I mean, I feel like I'm acquiring. The
Cathode.
I've always wanted to own a farm.
Yeah, Cathode. I mean, it's not that you miss. This thing's pretty big. What kind of weapon do you have,
It's
Eric?
an auto pistol.
Yeah. So I think somewhere distant, Cathode, because your head is spinning and you can smell your own flesh cooking, and
That's great.
and this like intense, like kind of bleachy, like chemical smell of the napalm that's still kind of like sticking to your skin, and you're all over pain. I think that your like dermal plating or whatever is visible in some places. We can see your skin is kind of like peeled away from it.
Yeah. Gross.
And yeah, and then you feel maybe you can't really hear, your ears are ringing from the pain, but you can feel your ribs like bending. Maybe there's some like cracking feeling in your chest as the thing. Yeah, we see it squeeze you, and there's like a little cutaway in its like arm part where we can see a servo or like a screw like tightening as the hand like closes on your torso. So take another 3 harm as the drone crushes you, and then make that harm move. And I think in the distance, like Flamingo, from your perspective, none of that is visible. You just fire the gun into the thing, and it's just like spanging off of its armor. You just see like little
succeed
sparks.
once more.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Okay, so on a 9,
Same as an 8.
same jam. Yeah. Well, you've already lost your footing, and you've already lost grip. You're not holding. There's nothing to hold that you lose your grip
This was a
on.
bad plan.
You know, it was a
I think it's
good.
great.
It was a good plan. Just
But
the
the
rolls
dice-
fucked you.
yeah.
Yeah.
We failed every roll.
Yeah, it would have been great
Everyone.
if the distraction had worked. It would have made the hacking possible. Like it would have been real easy. But
I mean, it's
point
like
being,
they wouldn't have not come to find us. like Adam specifically said that like there will be drones, so getting protected from them was something
That's
that
fine. You
I
took a risk. Yeah, I lose track of someone or something you're attending to. I'm gonna say like consciousness, at least temporarily. Like you're
Nope, that
blacking
makes
out
sense. Yeah,
as
it's a
it
lot of
squishes your
harm.
organs.
Except that consciousness is stated in like
Yeah,
the
you're
one-
not out completely. I could if you had gotten the 10, I'd be like it knocks you out. I'm just saying you're losing track of the situation. You're
Okay.
you're confused and
just-
stunned
yeah.
and being crushed.
Yep.
What's your harm at?
2300.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, you're getting smushed. Okay. So meanwhile, below decks, QQ, you make your way down to the correct deck, right? You're running around these like metal gangplank
Yep.
sort of stairs. You come down to it's the first deck above the like ballast decks, and and so you bust out into this hallway, you can, from where you're standing, you know how to get to either the docking, the like flooded docking area for the sub, or to the meeting room.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be making my way towards the meeting room, but I want to, like I was saying earlier, I want to come at it in a way where I cut in between the two and then over to the meeting room.
Yeah, I envision
But there would
that's
be a route, obviously, from one to the other that they would have taken, and so
Yeah.
I'm getting myself onto that route, and then
yeah. So let's just to give you a good idea of the visuals. The submarine doesn't there isn't like the hull of the ship and the submarine attaches to it. There's a hole in the bottom
it
of the ship.
comes into the ship.
It comes up into the ship. There's an area where it like surfaces and they load and unload. It's like the Nazi bunker in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, totally.
So they come up underneath and then emerge into the thing, and then from there there's a hallway that leads to the meeting room, and you can interpose between the two without any trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I'm coming in, and then QQ is just like closing in a tactical manner on the meeting room, and just like murdering the crap out of anyone she runs into along the way.
Okay, so let's montage that. Let's have you just make a mix it up roll to secure your violent approach.
Great. Does the security detail have synthetic nerves?
They're Krug, and there's a few of them. I don't know. I think probably not in this case. No.
Okay, cool. So I get an extra +1 forward.
Yeah.
I'm mixing it up.
They probably have like their nervous system dampened rather than like
They
enhanced.
have like their pain.
Yeah.
shut down.
They're slow and tough.
So I get a 5, 6, 7, 8.
You got an 8. Okay. All right. On a 7 and 9, choose 2.
Right. Sorry, let me bring up the basic move handout. So I will take harm as established.
Okay.
Okay, actually, sorry. No, never mind.
The fiction
take harm as
so
established.
in this case, the fiction has not established a possibility for an ally to take harm like narratively.
Yeah,
like
'cause
I could
Neat's
just be
not
like, cool,
around.
Catholic gets squished more for no reason, but that doesn't make any sense.
I mean, Neat
Yeah.
is in the area, so I could screw over Neat maybe.
you could, I guess. Yeah, Neat runs into. I know what would happen. So if you choose that one, yeah, Neat just runs into a trap set for you and takes harm as a result.
Well, let's just do something of value breaking
Okay.
as well as me taking harm. So how much harm am I looking at?
You're fighting a security force larger than yourself. So essentially like a small gang. They are armed with assault rifles. So
Yep, so it's
whatever.
gonna be 4.
4 harm, yeah.
Okay, cool. And I have armor.
Yeah, you're tough.
I have 2 armor, so I'd be taking 2 harm. Yeah. I'm okay with that. I take 2 harm.
Okay.
And I get XP when I do that.
Mhm. Okay, you need to make that harm move.
Yeah, we haven't bypassed security yet, have we?
No, I think when you gain access to the room.
Okay, I get a 9 on the harm move.
9 total? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think the thing that I'm gonna choose for the harm move for you for 7 to 9, you lose track of someone or something you're attending to. Someone's gonna get the drop on you. I think you're gonna be put in a you're gonna get what you want. You're gonna secure your approach, but it's gonna put you in a disadvantaged position. So I think what we end up having. Now this is perfect. So we know that you've been rampaging your way through this thing, blasting people, knocking people down, kicking ass all the way through. Are you trying to get into, what's your goal here? Like to get into the meeting room?
Yeah, because I want to.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to secure my approach so that I can murderize the meeting and then get out of here.
Okay. So you described the cool part where you like give me an idea of the cool part of you like killing these guys, and end your description when you get into the meeting room and you've disabled the guards in the room. So what does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine there's a bit of like a firefight through these like ship corridors, where like they're taking cover at like intersections so they can shoot down the hallways at me. And QQ's doing a lot of like very fast running and then like cutting around, and like because there's kind of like a grid like structure to all the corridors. And so she's like continually like flanking and repositioning on them.
Yeah, and you're super fast too, so it's probably like you pop around the corner and fire at them. They come around that corner and get aim, and then you come around behind them and like tap on the shoulder and shoot them in the chest.
Yeah, and she can do the thing where in any situation against these guys where both of them surprise each other coming around a blind corner, she always gets the drop on them because she has synth nerves.
Right, which is why you're just running fast, like barreling around corners.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like weirdly reckless, but it works because she's just able to be like, as soon as she enters the situation, she's already like moving her gun towards their head, and her like targeting interface is just like, yep, shoot here and here and here. And just,
Yeah, cool.
yeah, and so they take like 4 harm breach because I'm using my SMGs. So yeah, they get like really messed up, and the hull of the ship is full of these like big round like blast holes, or like big like spherical dents where the rounds have like hit and exploded.
Yeah, totally. So you kill the guards outside the door to the meeting room, and then get into the room. There's like one more guard in there who doesn't even like barely gets his gun up before you hit him in the chest. So we see you. You snap your arm out, fire a shot. He staggers back, his chest all blown open, falls on the table, and the focus goes from his body to your gun, and the ammo readout on your gun is 0, just blinking empty.
Yeah.
Totally. The thing that is damaged is that you've run out of bullets.
I'm out of bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the last of these magazines, which are like this like metal cage around these like oversized rounds, just like drops onto the floor, and you can hear it like hissing because it's so hot that it's like vaporizing water as it hits the deck.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, it lands in like a puddle, and it just hisses.
And yeah, she goes to reload. She has like spare mags all along her hips so that she can just like slam the gun down, and it has another magazine in it, but the last one is gone. So she just like holsters those, pulls out the assault rifle, and is like casing the room.
Yeah. Okay. So there are a couple. I would say there's like there's 3 terrified looking executive types in this room. The 2 that you had your research on before, the 2 like Disney Bezos ones, or those guys, and then another like a third, a woman who's a Krug like exec that you don't recognize. And so you're in the room with them. You've seized the meeting room, and let's cut over to Neat. Neat, what are you doing?
A very different approach into the same sort of area of the ship. I don't have synth nerves. I don't have super duper guns to just completely mow people down. So it's a lot more stealthy. Like waiting for patrols to run past me, dropping over like the railings on the stairs to get down like 2 floors at a time. Sometimes like throwing a flashbang out somewhere to make a distraction, wait until they go to check it out, trying to make my way past. But I'm heading down to the submarine bay.
Okay. Let's have you make a roll to get there in the same way. But now you're not mixing it up, right? You're actively like avoiding being tracked and caught and like getting in firefights, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is a sneaking mission. Okay. well, it sounds
Is
like
that just like the stealthy Metal Gear? Like this is the sneak.
Yeah.
yeah. I think you're acting under pressure. Then there isn't like a specific move for infiltrating a location or whatever with stealth.
Okay. Do-go-do-go-do. Oh my god, my rolls today. Well, at least I've got 2 forward, 2 stuff on it.
So 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, that's already with my forward on it.
Yeah.
I have a thought here.
What's your thought?
Oh,
Is-
I'm doing it with my assess. I'm up to 7.
Okay. I was gonna lobby for maybe QQ helping by just being the loudest,
obnoxious.
sexiest possible distraction that she is right now.
She's like running down the hall screaming, "Die, motherfuckers!"
If Dave's got the 7, then that's fine. But yeah, I feel like
Okay.
positionally it would make sense.
And
for-
where? Let me understand. So where are you trying to go, Neat?
To the submarine bay.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Let's grab a break here. And when we get back, I'll have a hard bargain for you, or a worse situation. All right.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Stick around. More the Sprawl when we get back.